Hi guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making paper slinkies as kind of a mindfulness activity. It's a good fidget toy and it encompasses the idea of being flexible. Okay, so for materials you're going to need paper, scissors, and or someone to cut for you if you need help. And glue if you've got it. If you don't have it, it's not the biggest deal. You just can't really, I guess, finish it off as nicely, but you could still do it, and for the most part it'll still work. Okay, so grab your materials. You'll need also some coloring materials as per usual. And yeah, grab your materials and then we'll get started. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our piece of paper into long strips. So when I say long, I mean lengthwise, not widthwise. Okay, so up and down. And to do this, if you want to get it nice and straight, you can use a ruler or any form of straight edge. I'm just gonna use another piece of paper to kind of get my straight edge. So I'm gonna line it up with the bottom, so that it's nice and straight, and it should line up at the top as well. Bottom's lined up. You can make them as narrow or as wide as you want. I'm doing them about 2 fingers wide. Also, excuse my fingers, we were using food coloring today and they're still dyed. But yes, so I'm doing mine about 2 fingers wide. The only important thing is that we make each strip the same width. So start by making a line. Let me grab my pencil. So you're gonna make your line like that, and then you're gonna cut it. So you're gonna cut off this first strip here. If you need help at all with the cutting, make sure you ask someone. If you don't have scissors, you could always try and fold along the line and then tear it, but sometimes that way works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so you're going to use this strip to make sure the rest of yours are the same. So again, you're just going to line it up as best you can. You're going to draw that line. Good, and then I'm just going to go ahead and continue drawing those lines. So I'm going to line it up to that line. And draw the line. Line it up again. And again. And your last one may or may not be wide enough, so you can just leave that one out if it's not big enough. And then, so go ahead and finish cutting all of those lines. So you should have something like that. And you can use pretty much any style of paper for this. This is just regular printer paper. there. All right. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips of paper. It helps if you've got an even number, but if you've got an odd number, then we can work that out later on as well, so don't worry too much about it. But yeah, so I've got 6 strips of paper that are all relatively the same size. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, so now that you have your slits of paper, your next job is to color, decorate, design however you like both sides of each strip of paper. Okay, so this may take a little bit of time, but that's fine. Just take your time. And they can all be different colors, can be the same colors, they can have patterns on them, however you want to design them. You will be seeing bits and pieces of both sides of your paper when this is all done, so that's why we have to do both sides. If your hand's getting sore or if you're getting tired of coloring it all, take a sec, take a break, whatever you need. Again, you don't have to do it super detailed or anything by any means. This is just to bring some color into our paper slinky. So yeah, let's go ahead and color again both sides of each strip of paper that you cut, okay? Alright, so as you can see, I have my 6 strips of paper. They're all colored back and front. Now we are going to get on to the folding and gluing of our paper slinky. So you're going to start with 2 of your strips, so you can just move the other ones to the side for now. Okay, so we've got these 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the end of one of the strips here. Okay, and then I'm going to take the other strip and I'm going to make kind of like an L shape. And I'm going to glue it right on to the very back or the bottom there. Okay, so I'm glued on just like that. And now we're going to start folding. So we're going to take the one that's underneath, so that's this one, and I'm going to fold it. I'll try and keep it nice and close. I'm going to fold it over right there, and then I'm going to take the next one, so this one's underneath now, and I'm going to fold it over there, and I'm going to keep doing that. So I'm going to fold the one underneath, over top, fold the one underneath, over top, keep going all the way till we've almost run out of paper. Just give your paper a little press down in between each one. Underneath, underneath. Underneath. Don't worry if everything doesn't completely line up. Again, it's not a big deal. So we're going to go until we've got about this much left. And then you're going to grab your next 2, whichever colors you would like. I'll grab these ones maybe. Okay, so your next 2, and you're going to attach them to the 2 that are hanging there. So we'll start with the one that's underneath, so you see the glue is on top. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the end of it. And I'm going to glue that green one on to extend it. And then I'm going to fold it over. And then I'm going to take the blue one that's underneath and I'm going to attach the next piece of paper. I'm going to add the purple to this one. And then we continue our folding. So again, the one that's underneath comes over. And over. And over. And over. And over. If it helps to kind of keep turning it around so that you're folding the one that's on the top. So if you give it like a little quarter turn every time, sometimes that could be helpful. Whatever makes it easier for you. Fold it. Fold it. Alright, so it looks like I'm running out of space, so I've got, again, 2 short ends. So we're going to add our last 2 pieces on. So again, start with the one that's underneath. Put a little bit of glue on there. Add your page. Alright, and then you can fold it over. And then your other one here, add a little bit of glue. All right, and let me continue folding one last time. Fold it over. Fold it over. Fold it. Fold it. If this is getting to be too much, or if you're feeling frustrated or anxious by any means, just slow it down. Just remember that the one that's underneath, so see the one that's on top, the one that's underneath is always going to be the one that's getting folded over. And you're folding it right along the line of the other paper so that we're keeping it nice and tight. Fold it. Don't stress yourself over having perfect lines. All right, and so once we kind of get to an end here, we are going to finish it off by gluing it. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue here so that my one piece can fold over nicely, and then I'm going to fold over the last piece here. Just like that. Now, if you have any paper that's kind of hanging over, you can cut it off. So just kind of grab your scissors, see the part that's hanging, and I'm just gonna cut off the extra stuff. Not a big deal. All right, and then you should be able to, it's tough to see from this angle, but when you open it up, it should be somewhat of a Slinky. Okay, and you can make these as long as you like. So the more strips of paper that you have, the longer it'll get. All right. And as you can see all the different colors that you did, the designs, and so on. So yeah, this was a prompt that was based on, being flexible, adapting to your, I know this week was based on like change and adapting to your environment. So this is just kind of a fun project exemplifying being flexible and creative, and kind of a fun origami type paper prompt. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I will see you guys again on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend.